Everyone, it's Amanda Jean here again with another video. Now before I get into today's blog post, I want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. First off, if it doesn't seem like I have very much energy or my voice is starting to go in and out, my apologies. You may want to put some earbuds or headphones on. I am getting over like a virusy sickness, so please forgive me for that. I'm going to give you guys the best energy that I possibly can give. All you guys ask of me is to do my best, and that's all I ask in my audience in return, is to do your best every day. Secondly, I am not an O&M specialist. I am not a low vision specialist. I am not yet a parent yet. But what I can share is my 31 years of experience with nystagmus. With that, let's get on with the video. So, this topic, this lesson, gave me a lot of emotions because it talked about something that has been very, very difficult for me to talk about. However, writing about it, blogging about it really helps, and that is how it impacts your family and friends when it comes to you being a non-driver. The first thing that we talked about in the lesson was how you need to express to your family and friends and how they need to express in return about you not being a non-driver. For me, this became very, very apparent in 2015 when I had my first job as a receptionist at a local mental health hospital. I had to take the paratransit each day, and for me, my paratransit is very late. It was never really on time. Either it was too early or extremely late. In fact, let me tell you, one day I was waiting on the bus and it was later and later and later. 3.5 hours later, I just was feeling in tears, and my grandpa's like, please don't cry. You know, you can't control this, but on the other hand, you also need to be a good employee. And I said to him, I know, I want to be a good employee. I want to be there on time. I want to do the best I can for my company. And yet, they ended up making me 3.5 hours late for a 4.5 hour shift. It was embarrassing going up to my supervisor and saying, I'm sorry for being late. I've done everything I could to be here on time. I've called my caseworker. I've called the company and I've complained. We've talked to the driver. You know, there's nothing more than that I can do. And later, as I finished my temporary job, when I went through my review, one of the things that she said to me was, I probably would not hire you back because of the fact that you're late. That was hurtful. Really hurtful. Another story that I can share myself is last year in 2018, towards the end of the year, I think it was October or November. I'll link the link down below to that blog as well so you guys can read it. I had a really bad toothache, and it started kind of hurting around Friday, dragged on into the weekend. Monday it kind of came and gone. Tuesday I was just hurting so bad where I just couldn't handle it, and I ended up calling Grandpa while I was at the training center, Grandpa, I'm hurting so bad I need to find a dentist. Will you help me? I can't find anybody that'll take me without insurance. So he ended up taking me to his dentist. God bless him. And we ended up finding out it was my jaw overreacting compared to my tooth. It wasn't my tooth. But thinking back, I go, oh, he dropped everything just to make sure I felt better. Well, that means he cares. But when you can't drive, that also means that you need to plan ahead if all possible and give back. For me, I gave back by doing extra around the house. You know, that's all I could do at the time. You know, I'm thankful I'm not in pain, but I also think on the other side, if I was living on my own, you know, either I would have to deal with the pain or maybe take an expensive taxi or see if a neighbor could take me. Think about that. Yes, I can be independent, but you have to plan for emergency situations such as that. And that's something that the course talked about, is to be flexible, to have a little bit of extra cash on hand in case emergencies like needing to go to the dentist or something like that happens. Going back to impact on family and friends, some of your family and friends may not understand your vision loss. For me, I do have family members that don't understand it. They think that nystagmus is a big joke. They think that it really doesn't impact me. In ways, I've learned to adapt, and that's fine. That's great. That shows I have advocacy skills, and that shows that I'm a strong person. And that means that your kids can be strong too, and can learn to advocate for themselves. But sometimes people just don't want to learn. And guess what? I hate to say this, and this may seem mean, but that's on them. You know, surround yourself with positive people that want to help you achieve your goals and dreams. If they don't, unless it's an immediate thing where you have to deal with them, such as teachers, other professionals, family members that you have to deal with, don't listen to them. Block them out. Be positive. Stay around positive people. You know, if you let their doubts and let their words get to you, you're going to start to be unpositive yourself. Then you're going to have low self-esteem. And that's not what we want for our kids. That's not what we want for the nystagmus community or the sight loss community in general. We want positive, strong people. And for those that are maybe going through a journey of being unpositive, try to help them become positive. Lead by example as well. But there always comes a point where you give all you can, and sometimes you have to say, okay, I tried, and that's okay. Remember, everyone has a choice, but it's better to remain positive. The next part of the lesson was on reasonable adjustments. For me, it means because I live so far away, and it takes me about maybe an hour or more using paratransit to get to town, I have limited options for where I am nearby. Basically a grooming shop for pets and a mini grocery store. But, you know, if I can't get somewhere or Grandpa can't take me, I may have to eventually one day start using online shopping. Amazon. Amazon's a great thing. Not sponsored, but I've learned that Amazon can be a great thing. You know, nowadays we also have, you know, the TV where you can order stuff off TV or through the mail, through a catalog. Those are reasonable adjustments of as I grow older and I start to move out on my own, I'm going to have to start thinking about. Start teaching these skills now when your kids are young. Let them know that these options are available. Now that doesn't mean give them your credit card and let them go crazy. No, but teach them that this is an option. Another option that the lesson talked about was relocating. For me, this is not an option right now, but I would love to maybe one day relocate. Sometimes when you're just a little bit closer to town or something, that can make things so much easier on you. Then you can start walking or biking or however you want to get around much, much better. Another thing that the lesson talked about was having an emergency plan. Like I mentioned before, having extra cash on hand. For me, I learned that it's important to carry a whistle with you when you're out and about. That helps get people's attention in case something does happen. Carrying your identification card with you, or whatever identification you use in your country. Every country is different. You know, having your extra charging cords with you when you're out and about. I always carry a charge port with me. Having a cell phone, making sure someone is able to come get you if all possible. Things like that. Another thing that the lesson taught me is maybe think about getting a camping chair, one that can fit on your back in a bag, so that way if you do have to wait for a while, you have somewhere to sit. Several times I've had to sit on concrete where it's a little bit chilly or it's a little bit hot out. I always try to carry a water bottle with me now in my bag, but having somewhere to sit is more comfortable. So that might be something to consider. And the last thing that this lesson talked about was budgeting. Now me, personally, I just budget within my normal budget for transportation. But the lesson actually recommended having a separate budget just for travel. And I actually like the idea, and I think I'm going to be starting that myself. Guys, if you like this series, let me know down in the comments below. What is one thing that you guys face as a non-driver? Parents, if you're out there, what's something that you're worried about for your child being a non-driver? Let me know down in the comments below, so that way I can help address those concerns and issues. Again, I'm not a specialist, but I can speak from experience. As always, guys, please be sure to check out my links down below. Please be sure to share this video, give it a thumbs up, and like and comment. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye.